32 now. This is how I wear my hair because I'm sophisticated. Woo. Hello all. I'm just sitting in my lounge room and the boys are in bed. So today I wanted to just do a video on my little steps to reducing my waste. I wouldn't say zero waste because I am far from that, but this is definitely my journey to reducing my waste. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you some of my favorite items that I have bought or accumulated over time. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you the things that are happening in our house, and also a little update on where we're at in terms of sustainable living, and potentially, you know, living off the grid and living mainly off the land, producing most of the food that we eat and eating seasonally. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so first I wanted to share my little wraps for food. So this is transitioning out of using foil and Glad wrap. As some of you might know, I am vegan, but I guess every vegan is different. So with me, it's predominantly my food. I did just recently buy a handbag for my new job, and I was just interested if there were any vegan options. Really nice one that I found that was pretty affordable, so I bought that, but I don't seek out vegan products really unless it's food. So in saying that, I was sort of looking into all the different options for wraps for my food, and these are not vegan. But you know, I guess I'm trying to also, in this process of changing my eating habits and my lifestyle across to veganism, which it's been probably over a year now, and I'm also, you know, thinking ethically and morally about, you know, and philosophically about my place in the world, not just in terms of eating, but also in terms of reducing my waste and my footprint on Mother Earth. And I found that these beeswax wraps were just the best fit for me in terms of where I'm at in my life at the moment. So, you know, I think nobody's perfect, and that's kind of my philosophy with everything in life. Nothing's black and white. I'm not a black and white vegan, I'm not a black and white minimalist, I'm not a black and white zero waster. So in saying that, I'm really liking the beeswax wraps. So I've got 3 different sizes, but one's currently being used in the fridge, so I can't show you. But this is my, I guess, our medium size one. It's really cute little pattern. They're really awesome. So this one I've just taken out of the dish rack, and to wash them, they come with really good wash instructions. These ones I actually bought from a woman at a local market in Tasmania. She's super clever. She basically just, you can give her any material that you want and she'll turn it into a beeswax wrap. So this wasn't a material that I gave her, it's just a pre-made one. But they're pretty easy to make. Apparently I haven't had the capacity to look into it myself at the moment, but yeah, I'm loving them. So they're really really flexible. See, they kind of hold their shape. So to wash them, you just wash them in warm water. You're not meant to use soap, but if I've got like any kind of really stainy food on there, I will just give it like a really light scrub with a bit of soap as well, but like super minimal, because it obviously interrupts the beeswax. So when they sit in the drawer and they cool down, they get really stiff. So I just hold it like literally in front of the fire when I want to wrap something up in the fridge, just for 30 seconds, and as you can see, like pretty much crumbles over. And I've got this bad boy, which was from a health food store, a local health food store that we've got in Huonville. So this one's quite big and it's really handy. I'm actually really loving it. I wasn't sure how I would find transitioning out of Glad wrap into this. I just love them. I think they're super handy. They last like a really long time if you maintain them, like if you look after them. So basically I wash them in the warm soapy water and then I'll just let them dry in the dish rack, and put them back in the drawer. My second most favorite, this isn't in order of favorite because if it was, these would have gone first. My keeper cup. This one is my absolute favorite. It's Jocko. So they sell these, I think, pretty much at most health food stores. Lulu bought this one for me a while ago, and It has been in my pocket pretty much since the day we met. It was love. If I'm only feeling like a small coffee and I've only got this one on me, I'll just say to them, can you just charge me for a small? Don't fill it all the way up. It's like rubber, fits on really well. Yeah, so it took me quite a while to transition to the keeper cups. Now I literally just put it in my bag. So usually I would have my keys and my phone and my wallet. Now I have my keys, my phone, my wallet and my keeper cup and a couple of other things that I'll show you, but it can really easily become a part of your daily habit when you're leaving the house. When I first started, it was a real pain. I'd either get halfway to where I was going and be like, oh god damn it, I forgot my cup, or yeah, I would just completely forget it and get to the cafe and be like, oh, far out. So if you just make it a part of your daily routine and your daily habits, it's brilliant and I love it. I actually love being able to drink out of this, and I think this, out of pretty much anything else that I have in terms of my journey to reducing my waste, this is my most, this is the thing that I feel the impact most with, I guess, because I can have quite a few cups of coffee or tea or chai or whatever it is throughout the day. So I'm becoming really aware of how many disposable cups I was throwing in the rubbish bin daily. I love drinking out of this now. It's really nice to hold. This is a smaller one that I have. So this is nice. It's a little glass one. The top is not flexible really. Smaller, like, so sometimes if I just don't feel like taking something around that's quite large, I will just take this one out because there's a fair difference in size. And the interesting thing, which was one of the biggest things for me, is like, if you've already had a coffee and you want another one, do you take the keeper cup and ask them to rinse it? At first I was like, no way, I'm not asking a cafe to rinse my dirty keeper cup. But that's actually what I do now, and it's actually quite liberating, because it's kind of like, well, the world can't have everything, and you know, you have to draw your own lines, obviously, like with what you're comfortable with and what you want to do. But with me, I thought, I'm really trying to reduce my waste, and that involves me asking someone if they can rinse this out for me before making a new one. And I haven't had any negative responses. Like, I think everyone really is kind of, especially if you're working in the hospitality industry, people are really kind of supportive of you bringing a keeper cup, and if you've already had one, they'll just rinse it out for you and it's not an issue. But at first I was pretty embarrassed. I was like, I don't really want to ask them to rinse it. But yeah, I think it's just a part of, you know, building and developing that new kind of dynamic that you have when you're out. You just ask them to rinse it, it's all good. It's my straw. So these are pretty much everywhere. So we bought a pack of 4 and we all use them. But when I leave the house now, I take my straw as well. I don't really drink anything that you need a straw for. It's actually really cool just to have on you handy, just in case you need it. But yeah. But at home, they're brilliant. Smoothies is pretty much 98% of what we use these for, because we have smoothies sometimes 2 times a day. So yeah, biggest thing is make sure you have a cleaner. I think a cleaner comes with the pack of 4, but what I do is pretty much as soon as we've finished our smoothie or our soup or whatever we're drinking, is I'll rinse this out straight away, because it can get, so I've heard, pretty fezzer in there. My fork and spoon. This is a cool little brand. They do a lot of stuff. So Ever Eco do heaps of stuff. So yeah, my knife, my fork and my spoon. So when I leave the house, I'll take these, and my straw and my keeper cup. These are super handy. I had no idea how much plastic cutlery I was using, but even if I take my own lunch to wherever I'm going, and then sitting down at a cafe with friends or colleagues or whoever, got these bad boys on hand. Huge impact, I reckon. This is definitely something that is well worth the money. They're not very expensive, and they're great that they come in a little pack of 3, because you've got everything that you need. This one I had to take out of the freezer because I just made a huge batch of soup today. It is just from Woolies. It's the Systema brand. This is my favorite. It's a great size. So I make all my lunches in this for work, and I take this out with me as well, empty. So if I'm going out and there's a potential that I might be getting takeaway from a cafe, anything like that, I'll ask them to put it in this. And this is a little bit more awkward than the keeper cup. I think this is something that might just be starting to happen a bit more maybe. Majority of the time get funny looks, like people are bit kind of, what, you want me to put that where? It might be something that's not quite as common as the keeper cup. Keeper cups have been around a lot longer. I mean, I just make it a part of my order, you know. I just say, can you put it in this please? And it's fine, like it's not, you know, it's a bit awkward, but it's not bad. Basically, just to recap, I'll have this with these, with my straw and my keeper cup. So it's a fair bit, but no one said changing the world was easy. I have another little separate bag that just has all my stuff in it. Obviously, like, I won't take the container and the fork and the spoon if I know I'm going to be somewhere that I won't need them, but keeper cup, must have. These, super cool. I love these and I need to buy some more. Just little produce bags. So this is like for at the supermarket or farmer's market or wherever you're going, just for your produce. And they are the bomb. So we haven't had the plastic, like the little plastic produce bags for a long time. When we were living in Melbourne, there's a really nice health food shop. They've got a really good little collection. So if there's anyone in Mornington that's watching this and is interested in where they are, that's a really great shop on Main Street. These are super handy. They come in a pack of 5. They're really sturdy. I put all my produce in these. They're really durable. They're really, like, you can put a lot in there, a lot of weight, and they're awesome. And yeah, it just becomes a part of your reducing plastic, which is awesome. And those little bags, like, they were super handy for little bins and stuff. It was definitely a struggle to be like, what do I do now? But you know, you just find ways to work around that. Next is supermarket bags. Yeah, got a lot of them, and these are the biggest pain in my ass. Everything else that I have to try and reduce my waste, not a pain in the ass. It's just something different to get used to, and it's like a new way of living. Changing your lifestyle a little bit, your habits, your efforts, what you're willing to do and not do. These I hate. Seriously though. Yeah, these are a struggle. So you always, everyone knows, you bring your bags in, you unload your shopping, then you tidy them all away and you put them in your pantry. Then you get to the supermarket and you're like, anyway, so problem solved. Well, Grant unpacks the shopping because he loves it. Weirdo. We'll put them back in the car. It sounds simple, but it's not. So I have nothing really to say about these bags. So totally necessary. They're great. Got my massive, most radical, which I do like this bag actually, to be fair. It's the bomb for the farmer's market. Yeah, that is that. Nice short and sharp segment on the shopping bags. This next thing revolutionized my life. Someone said it is such a clever marketing ploy for a marketing crew, whoever it was, to come up with a different glass for every different drink. And now I know. I will be the first to put my hand up and say I love drinking out of like a wine glass, and I do like those little round wine glasses for the red wine. I do like a nice, like, bigger kind of bellied glass for white wine, and then I do love a schooner of beer. So I totally get the different glasses, totally get it. But this kind of ties in with my trying to minimize my lifestyle, you know, bit of the minimalism ethos. What I have to say to you is one jar to rule them all. Basically, Grant and I pretty much drink everything out of jars now. And so, you know, if we buy anything new from the supermarket, if it's in a jar, I guarantee you we'll be keeping it, because we use jars for our drinks. So for all our glasses, we use them in the pantry for all of our bulk health foods. But yeah, so we use jars for everything. So currently drinking my ginger and lemon water. Nom nom nom. But wait, there's more. So this is our chia seeds, nutritional yeast, cacao nibs, mixed nuts that we put in our smoothies. This has got like every seed. I can't even be bothered naming them all. Muesli, so this will be, I don't know, we'll obviously keep this for seeds or whatever. It's tricky to like let go of drinking out of a glass, and I'm sure the next time I actually do drink out of a glass I'll be like, oh, this is heaven. But I actually also really like drinking out of jars, and I really like not having to faff about with different glasses. We have a really bad track record with glasses. They don't survive very long in our house, and I don't know why. Jars are lasting longer, so that's good. What we'll do is, if I go to the health bulk food shop to get like our seeds and our nutritional yeast and our flours and pastas and organic whatever, I'll take my jars and I'll trottle down the street tinkering away, and yeah, you fill up all your jars with whatever it is that you want. So you weigh your jar before you fill it up, and then you weigh once you've filled it, and that's how you pay, which I love. Yeah, so that's it really. They're my kind of like favorite things that I've found and have also been using for quite a while now, over a good year or more, I'd say, even over 2 years. So it's sustainable. It's just a matter of getting your head around kind of new ways of thinking and new ways of being. If it's something that you really want to aim towards doing, then there are things that are going to pee you off and just annoy you. Like, it is a bit of a pain if I am going out and I know I need my takeaway container, my cutlery, my straw, my keeper cup, oh, and my water bottle. I've got a water bottle, but that's aluminium water bottle. Yeah, like that's a bit of a pain, but it's something that I want to do and I feel really good doing it. So yeah, it's nice. Anyway, little life update. We have been talking more, I guess, now that we're a bit more settled, about our sustainable living and our, you know, living off grid and living off the land and producing most of our own food. Yeah, life gets really busy and it's been really tough, as well as amazingly rewarding. And I actually, you know, I've struggled for a few weeks kind of around that transitioning to this new life, and it's a process for sure. For me, kind of letting go of my you know, my stay-at-home mum role or my stay-at-home parent role. I've started a new job, dishwashers, eh? It's been a long time in training to get into this industry, and now I'm in it, and it's, you know, it's hard kind of doing it all at once, moving to a completely new state, buying a house, starting a job, you know, leaving my mama role kind of as full-time at-home parent. So yeah, I think for a little while there I lost my feet, I lost my footing and my grounding, and I'm now starting to find them again, which is lovely. So Grant and I are starting to reconnect with, you know, what we've done this for and why we've done it, and there's absolutely no regret that I feel. And so we've been talking more about kind of preparing the land for the new season, where we can start to plant the seeds, and we've been talking about what we mainly want to grow and where we're going to plant it. The really good thing about moving down to Tassie during the winter is that we've had a bit of time, which has been really nice actually, because we have moved on to a couple of acres of land, and the previous owner did produce veggies and fruit on a commercial scale. It is quite overwhelming how well he has used the land. He was really resourceful in terms of using the space and companion planting, and just the way that he planned it out in terms of using the polytunnels and different areas of the garden. Really well thought out. We're kind of like, Ma, we've come from a tiny deck area in Mornington and we had like 2 trugs and 2 ponds and that was it really. So yeah, it can be quite overwhelming, but it's now we've kind of gotten that drive behind us again, using the winter when it is really quiet and we can't grow anything really. We're starting to clear the land, which is really therapeutic, and you know, I feel like I'm starting to get my hands dirty now, which is really nice. I'm connecting with the earth, I feel like I'm getting to know the earth around me, which is really nice. I think for a little while there I was feeling quite overwhelmed, and so it was hard for me to get out there and get to know the earth and the ground and just be comfortable in my new surrounds. But we're starting to clear the land now. We've got some lovely neighbours that are going to come and help us and share their knowledge about fruit tree pruning, and they're going to come and prune our orchards and help us prepare them for the new season. What we've kind of been talking about is giving ourselves 2 full seasons, so 2 years, to really get to know our land, to grow. Hopefully, you know, within 2 years we'd like to be eating mainly off the land and producing most of the food that we're eating. Yeah, so having a really kind of sustainable way of intertwining with the land and eating off the land and living off the land. We're trying to have an increased awareness of eating seasonally, but to be fair, I'm still eating papaya. Probably won't ever stop eating papaya. I love it. The boys love bananas and we have them in our smoothies, and they're just a really healthy fruit, I think, for them to have. So that's something that we're going to have to think about, you know, how we sit with that if we continue to buy them. And watermelons. So we're definitely still eating things that are not seasonal at the moment. But like I said, we're finding our balance and we're figuring out how we want to do this. So yes. The other thing that we're thinking about doing is starting to look into some solar panels. So I think that's probably one of the first biggest things that we want to try and do is we probably won't go completely off grid initially. We'll probably just get the solar panels installed and up and running, and then after a little while we'll get the battery packs happening and then go off grid. That's really exciting. When that happens, I'm going to be so excited because that's a really huge step. I've been looking into alternatives for things like washing machines. We don't have a dryer, and I'm really happy with kind of how we've been going with drying our clothes in front of the fire. Really happy with how it's been going, and I don't think we'll buy a dryer again. It does take much longer, obviously, and then you do things like towels and bedding. Like if you've got a sick household and you know you have to do all of the linen and all of the towels all at once, like yeah, this whole area turns into like a laundromat. It's packed, it's different, but I kind of like it. So, and it's not like a permanent thing. Usually we can manage washing and drying our clothes over a couple of days cycle. So obviously it's longer than putting all your stuff in dryer for 40 minutes. But it's like one of the big things that I'm trying to do is just slow my life down and live more slowly. So I'm really trying to build that space and capacity for slowing down. And if we're not in a hurry, then we don't need to wash and dry things in a hurry. Alternatives for washing clothes. I guess it depends what kind of solar system we're going to be looking at, but we might still be able to run a pretty conventional modern washing machine. The Tassie government actually has some really good initiatives and schemes for sustainable living. We're starting to kind of like dip our toes into that water, and yeah, that's really exciting. And then another thing that we've been just dabbling with, just playing with the idea, is maybe building a little yurt on our land. I love yurts. Yeah, I would have quite happily moved into a yurt. Anyone that doesn't know what a yurt is, Google it or YouTube it. I love them. I think it's a really beautiful way of living. It's like a round house basically. It's one room, you know, you're very close to nature. We're thinking of maybe building an entirely off-grid yurt on our land, and we might Airbnb it, we could rent it out, you know, I can go down there if I want to. I can go down there, family can stay and friends when they come. So yeah, that's something that we're thinking about as well, which is pretty exciting. Who knows what will happen? These are all just thoughts and dreams and, you know, living in the land of play and imagination, but what a place to play in. So yeah, that would be pretty awesome if we kind of could have a bit of, you know, a bit of a place where people can come and stay, a bit of fresh produce picking and cooking. So yeah, that's it really. So that's just my small little update on everything that's happening. There's obviously lots of other stuff happening, but yeah, my journey to zero waste and little life update in terms of sustainability and where we're at with our house and our life. Yeah, I'll do another touching base video at some point. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did. Let me know if you're, you know, already doing some of this kind of reducing your waste stuff, and if you've got any other tips for me. love to hear them. And I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye.